I think fundamentally I went into general practice because, believe it or not, I had a deep interest in science. That might sound a little bit unusual coming from a GP, but I was deeply interested in the integration of the kind of biotechnical information and the biographical information. And for me, that cuts to the very heart of science, because not everything that exists in the world happens in an experimental condition, and I really wanted to explore that in a real life setting. And I feel that given that general practice operates with unselected populations, it was the unique environment that would allow me to explore that as a scientist and I suppose an observation of people, if you like, and people's stories. I suppose in terms of tips, just that the academic GPs themselves are the professors, the chairs, the senior lecturers, they're all very open. They're often got several research projects ongoing, and they're often more than happy for you to participate within that. To think that you can just come along and do a big study yourself, that might be a little bit naive to think that, because it does take a long time to actually build up to running your own research program, and that's to be expected. But actually just going and making that initial contact, I applied for an academic clinical fellowship, but quite easily I could have just contacted the university department, division of general practice, directly as well. That would have been quite all right to do. It certainly feels a little bit different than being a trainee. First of all, there's the degree of responsibility that you have. You're ultimately responsible for the patients that's in front of you. You no longer got the trainer to lean on, if you like. Although there's still that network there, of colleagues that you can speak to. But I think there is a stronger sense of responsibility. The other key thing I would say is leadership. That you're thrust into the world as someone who's participating in the local health economy, if you like, and all of a sudden you've got to make leadership type decisions. So it goes beyond the routine consultation. It actually goes into, for example, commissioning. It goes into research. All these different areas are suddenly become quite important, and that's something that I've noticed quite keenly since post membership. As a GP, I would say, for me, it's back to that integration of the biotechnical and biographical information from a scientific perspective. So bringing things from a very, I suppose, like controlled setting in the academic department to life. So how perhaps shaping policy, and then from that looking at how it can be integrated into clinical practice as well. I think that's quite exciting, really, to actually challenge the existing boundaries of knowledge within the scientific world of the general practitioner, and to actually look at making a change from that perspective. So that, for me, that I find that quite motivating. But at the centre of everything I do is the person, the individual patient that's in front of me, and that is where you're going to get all your knowledge and wisdom from fundamentally, I think.